guys, figured I'd do a quick review on these connectors that I picked up off of Amazon. This is your standard connector for an e-bike, and the reason they cheap out on this is basically because it's in the battery and you can't see it. Some of the problems you would get in these is you get a little bit of corrosion around this really thin metal, and they tend to snap off right there or vibrate off. They fray where it's crimped, or the wire will actually physically melt and it gets all crusty. So they're not that good. I mean, how many amps do you really think you can put through that? You know, when an e-bike manufacturer, now they're starting to say 35 and 40 amps controllers, but yet they have batteries like this, battery terminals like this. There's no way you can put even 15 amps through that solidly without it melting. So I found something that you can use for most lead acid based e-bikes, plus maybe a few lithium if they have the right connectors. These babies you can pick up for $12. You get a 24 pack. They're pretty solid. I think they're brass. They feel like it. There's two ways you can install these. You can either crimp them. It's a tool you can actually pick up on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description if I can find it. But it wraps around the top, but then in the bottom it crimps the bottom, so you don't see the crimp. But the problem with crimping is once you crimp it, you're pretty much stuck with the part. You can't recycle it. I like to recycle, so what I do is if you've seen in one of my other videos, I heat it up on the stove, pick it up with needle nose, toss some lead solder in there, and then push the wire in, which works pretty good. That way you can just desolder it and reuse it. But I figured I'd show that. $12 is a deal, bit of steel, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's installed. Now once it's installed, that's basically what it should look like. Nice and solid. What I'll end up doing is I'll put a little bit of heat shrinking. I'll slip some on, and then once it cools down I'll slip it back down and maybe heat shrink it right up to the lip of the terminal. That way it covers the joint, so salt and water doesn't get in there and corrode it. So for $12, that's a really good deal, and for the time it takes for you to redo your whole battery box with these, I mean, it's definitely worth it. So I figured I'd share that, guys. $12 is a pretty good deal.